and obviously my socials is all about my journey. So it is, so much of it is my training, and I love to share that. And also just to show my audience that like, it wasn't very long ago where I was potentially where they are now in their journey, like first starting out. So I absolutely love it. And I feel very, very lucky to be able to do it.
And I've said it before, but I love the way you capture it. Like there's a really great like storytelling aspect to it, where it's like, this is where I was and this is where I am now. And I imagine like you say it, it's like the people who are coming through, it's like, well, oh, Liv can do it, like so can I.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason why I can't. Like you, like respectfully, we're all just normal people.
Yeah, we're all human.
Just trying to make it work in this big bad world. You know what I mean?
I know. I've come across a few girls that I do a little bit of like pro racing down in Victoria, so like stall gift kind of racing, and anyone can enter at that, and it's handicapped as well, so you don't have to be the best sprinter in the world, and everyone's off a staggered start, so it's great for everyone. And I've come across a few girls that have been like, oh, I've been following you, and like you inspired me to get into this, and like they race every weekend, some of them like mums, and it's like so awesome to see, and just makes me so happy that people can get something out of what I'm sharing, even if a lot of the time I feel like what I'm putting out is like, oh, no one's going to get anything out of this. No one wants to hear it. But like, you don't realize people do when an actual human comes up to you in person.
Is there a standout story or memory that sticks out to you of someone reaching out?
I think just like young girls, I think being inspired to like pursue sport. I think there's this, I just hate how when you're like 18 and you're finishing school and everyone feels like you have to ditch your sport and like grow up so fast. Like you can just continue, like I'm almost 24 now, and I've never gone a year off not playing sport, and I think so many girls think that they have to, and it's not cool to play sport when you're like 18 and like that's when you work and you go out. So I don't think there's a standout story, but just like those young girls that are like, oh, like I really want to have a crack at my sport now. So yeah, I
think it is really inspiring, and it is cool to see it. Like I love that you're just open about it. Like you're open about the highs, but you're also open about the lows. Yeah. What it looks like, what does training look like? Yeah. And while we're here, I've actually got a voice memo question that I'm gonna play for us at the moment.
Okay.
Hey Liv, Boyd here. Keegan has asked me to think of a question to ask you on your potty today. And I was just having to think about a few things because it's pretty hard because I feel like I know pretty well everything about you. But I feel like it's a good opportunity to, I guess, speak about the adversities you faced and the work ethic that you have and how hard you work every day. With that in mind, the question I have is, what are the biggest challenges of working in social media and the effect that social media has on your mental health? I feel like it's a good opportunity for you to chat about some adversities that you've faced, and yeah.
That is so funny because he kept asking me the past few days, are you nervous for the podcast?
Oh, really?
He's like, is there anything they're going to ask you that you're nervous about? And I was like, I don't think so. Like,
should
why
they be?
Why do you keep asking me that?
Yeah, gotcha.
And then when I was leaving this morning, he was still in bed, and I was like, oh, I got the podcast. He goes, you should really talk about your challenges.
Yeah, really?
And I was like, okay.
That's so
funny. What a cheeky bugger.
He's so good. He was awesome.
That's so funny.
Really cool.
That's funny. Well, I think on the topic is there's a few things. I think on like having a social media presence, I think there's been some instances where like I love on race day to be like treated as an athlete, and I'm not there as like a social media presence. Like I'm not there for content. I'm there to race, and that's what I do. And I think sometimes people think that, I don't know, I just feel like sometimes I'm not taken seriously as an athlete, and like I want to put all the social media aside when I'm on the start line. I am quite a stress head and very much a perfectionist, and I feel like results definitely like, and I put a lot of pressure on myself too, which I know that my audience don't put pressure on me, but like when you got so many people watching, you kind of convince yourself that you do. So I feel like I'm always the most nervous person on the start line because I feel like I have so many eyes watching me, and I obviously want to execute because I've been documenting so long. So I love to document my journey, like heading into Worlds this year. I was like, oh, let's film every week. This is 18 weeks out from Worlds and the big countdown. And then when I got to Worlds, I was like, oh my God, so many people that follow me are here. Like I need to execute. And I think I definitely worry more so about the result a lot rather than actually just enjoying the process, because it's always like the month after the race where I'm like, that was so fun. And I didn't enjoy it at all because I was so nervous and so stressed about it and like felt sick about it. And I've been doing it for so long now. Like obviously I care and I like nerves are great, but yeah, sometimes it's just a bit too much and I need to just relax a little bit, enjoy the process, and that's where all my best results come from. So
how do you deal with the pressure like in the moment, because like you mentioned that, you know, people come and watch you, which is wild. Like I can't imagine that there's too many beach sprinters, like apart from like friends and families, that like want to come and see you race. You know what I mean?
Especially because it's such like a niche thing. Like so many people haven't heard of it. So to have like an audience there is so cool.
So how do you deal with that pressure?
I don't know. I just think I just tell myself that I've put in the work. I always try and rock up on like the biggest race of the year and just be like, well, there's nothing more I could have done. I put in the work. Whatever happens, happens. And I just constantly replay that through my mind. But yeah, it really comes to making sure that I'm giving every session my all, so that when race day comes, it's like, well, it's out of your control now. You've put in the work. If you perform poorly, then it is what it is. But yeah, there's nothing more you could have done. I think that's why I do what I do as well, because I feel like when I was really young and social media wasn't as huge as it is now, there were athletes to look up to, but you never knew what they did in their day-to-day. So you only saw their success, and that like when shit things did happen to you, you were like, you felt so alone. So like I'm not the best beach sprinter in the country, but I think the value that I do provide is that I show people my journey and the highs and the lows, and something to relate to and something to look up to, and show like, and just something that's real as well. And that's something I'm trying to be the person that I needed when I was younger to look up to, because obviously I had so many setbacks. But my idols were the girls playing for the Vixens and for the Diamonds that had made it, but I didn't see when they didn't make it. So, yeah.
You talked about confidence before. How do you think you build confidence?
Investing in yourself, 100%. I think I'm not my most confident when I'm like my fastest or my leanest or my earning the most money. It's always when my routine is just so great and I'm feeding myself well, I'm training well, I'm putting in the work for my mental health, I'm socializing, just like all my buckets are full and I'm investing into everything. Yeah, and it took me a while to notice that, but I think just when, I'm just looking after myself, that's when I feel my most confident.
I love that. And I think that's a time thing, yeah?
Yeah.
And when you can see it, like you put the effort in, see the results.
Yeah.
Like you do all the work, like the 18 weeks leading up to the Worlds or a big competition.
Yeah.
And then when you have positive success, you're like, oh, well, actually, it's funny, like what working hard can do.
I know.
How wild is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Even like in this last sort of 18 months, like this has been the busiest I think I've ever been, right?
Really?
Like it's, but it's all fun. Like it's all really great. Like I love this podcast. This is just a passion project, but I could spend endless amounts of time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
love that.
But then also like studying psychology, like
so
that,
cool.
That's like that ties into this. Then also working full time. It's like it's a busy time, but I love all of it. And I think like life got so great in the last like a year, 18 months, when I feel like I've just really dialed in. And you know, take the year off out drinking and it's funny like what good things come. Yeah. Like I don't think like I wouldn't have got to go over to the Whoop HQ. And if you didn't start this thing, and then like I look at your story and the similarities where you're like, you were 19 and you just started. Like you just went to the track and you're like, I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm just going to start it.
I know.
And then figure it out along the way.
And I can't imagine what my life would be like if I didn't just decide, fuck it, I'm just going to move to the Gold Coast. I'm just going to do it now.
Fuck, it's like a full sliding door moment.
Yeah, like I'd probably still be studying a degree I don't like. I'd be probably still living at home. I'd still be getting blind every weekend. Like I probably wouldn't, I would be running, but I'd probably still be playing like a team sport and not enjoying it. So yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, I think about that concept all the time.
Yeah. And like, I always encourage like on socials, like just take the leap. Like if there's something you want to do, just do it because it's, whatever's meant to be will be. And for me, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. At the moment, I get up at 4 in the morning. I wake up with the sun. So since Gold Coast doesn't have daylight savings, sunrise is at like 4:30. So I get up for it. Obviously, in winter, it's a bit later. I get up, go to sunrise at the beach with my dog. We walk for a little bit. He can't walk very far, so it's a pretty short walk.
Isn't he Aussie Shepherd?
Yeah, he's only 3, but he's just very lazy.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, he's one of a kind. Gotcha. But we do our little morning walk, and then at the moment I'm like starting my work days around 5, which I'm really loving. And then I either have gym, which I'll go to at around 7 with my S&C coach, and I'll do a little bit of filming there if I need to, or I'll just be training. And if I don't have gym, then I'll have track that afternoon at 4:30. And then the middle of my day is pretty much just filled with like creating reels, editing reels, filming YouTube, trying to get better at that and film more.
Before we do wrap things up, what do you think is the biggest thing that we didn't touch on today that you'd like to talk about? Or that like a theme that you think would be really great to talk about?
Maybe food.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like something that I always preach is that like food is fuel. And I think a lot of female athletes need to know that. And that's something that I try, like a message I try and spread on my platform, showing that like if you want to perform as an athlete, you need to eat like one. And yeah, I was definitely like influenced by social media when like TikTok was first coming out and I was living in Melbourne, and there was really like harmful and like bad messages being portrayed on social media about how you should eat to look a certain way. And yeah, I just think girls need to remember how important it is to fuel their body to perform. And yeah, and you're so much more than what you look like. And that you should, I highly encourage everyone to focus on performance rather than aesthetics.
I love
it's
that.
so easy as a young girl to get caught up in all that.
Yeah.
And that's something that I definitely needed to hear at the beginning of my journey. So
that was something that hit home for you.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's such a really great parting message, because like fuel helps. Like you need to put the right food in, right?
Yeah.
And I'm similar. Like even in footy, it's like we get like fat tested going into 100%, like skin folds. You come in, boys are a bit overweight at the start. You're in fat club. Like it's
did that like impact you at all?
I don't think so, because it was such a norm.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest thing that I learned was like I can regulate my body composition very easily.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I'd fallen on the fact of probably the other way, where like I needed to put more weight on.
Yeah.
Because I was a smaller build.
Yeah.
So they're like.
So it was a positive thing.
Yeah, it was kind of like, but then it got to the point where I'm overeating. Like I had to eat 2 hours, like every 2 hours to try and hold it. Like you're at 100 kilos. We want you playing at 104 this year.
Yeah, wow.
So therefore, eating every hour, protein shakes like right before you go to bed. I had one coach when I was younger saying, "Wake up in the middle of the night and have a protein shake."
No.
And like looking back on it now, I'm like, that is ridiculous. Like especially after this whoop. Like,
remember when I like first moved to the Gold Coast, and I definitely wasn't fueling myself correctly, but also was so uneducated that I didn't like, there was no intention behind it. I just had no idea what I was doing, and it would get like my energy would be so poor where I got to the point where I started literally hating sprinting. I was like, I hate this. I hate training. And all it took was like eating a little bit more, and I was like, I've fallen back in love with the sport.
Yeah.
Like it can even mess with your mind.
How wild is that?
Yeah.
Though? What do you usually eat? Are you like Whole Foods, or you like what? How do you go with that? Like, what's your food of choice?
Mostly like Whole Foods, but I do use like processed foods as fuel when I need it. Like before training, when I need like simple carbs, I'll dial into that. And like race day is like pretty much purely processed, like snakes and like energy bars and all that sort of thing. But yeah, it's pretty simple. I just love my meals are pretty balanced. I just have like a carb, a fat, and a protein and everything. Plenty of snacks. Love my overnight oats for breakfast.
Oh my god, love
the best. Love. And then I just have like chicken, veggies, and rice for lunch in a big little nourish bowl. And then I love like my steak and veggies for dinner. Ninja Creamy for dessert.
Ninja Creamy.
Non-negotiable.
Oh, is that the like the appliance?
Yeah.
It looks like super smooth. Like you make like little ice creams or yogurts out of them.
Oh, it's the best.
Really?
Favorite meal of the day.
Fuck, really?
Everyone needs a Ninja Creamy. Not sponsored.
Is it
just a recommendation?
just a loving thing that we need to get in the kitchen.
Yeah, it was the best thing I ever bought. It's so good.
Wow.
Like you can turn anything into ice cream.
What do you mean? Like any like fruits?
Yeah, like I sometimes will just have like milk and protein powder, which would sound so boring, but it turns into like a complete delicacy.
So thank you. Like thanks so much for coming on.
Oh no, thank you for having me. This has been so much fun.
It's been really cool.
Yeah.
That's right.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you. Bye bye.